Alright guys, so tonight I'm in my BMW 2024 X7 and just planning to do an oil filter and oil change. As of right now, as you can see here, I have 4,500 miles on the vehicle. Some people might say this was a little too late, some people might say it's a little too early. According to BMW, they don't do the oil change until 10,000 miles, which seems a little crazy. Um, they do say these engines are made with much better tolerances, so that's why they don't need the oil change until 10,000 miles. There's also a debate on whether it's just more economic for BMW as a dealership to supply 3 oil changes every 10,000 miles as to do opposed to any more than that, just because for them, they'll obviously save a lot more money by doing less oil changes. So since I'm planning to keep this vehicle for the long term, I'm just going to be doing a little bit extra. So yeah, maybe a little late, but I definitely felt like I wanted to change the oil before I hit that 10,000 miles. So we're going to go ahead and do it right now, and I'll show you guys how to do that. If you guys have any questions about why I'm doing it or anything like that, feel free to post up below and we can go into a little bit more. But yeah, anyways, we're going to change the oil. The first step I want to go over is basically how we open up the hood of the vehicle. If you guys haven't had BMWs before, you actually have to double pull the latch. So you pull it once and then you pull it twice, and that actually unlocks it. So if you haven't done an oil change before, you want to make sure that you run the engine, get that oil nice and hot to allow all that dirt and whatever might be in there to kind of mix into the oil. So that way you're making the best oil change that you can for the vehicle. So yeah, so once you unlock the hood, you'll be able to open it up in the front here, and then we got the oil filter right in the back there. So we're going to go ahead and pull off this engine cover and see what's under there. Alright, so in order to get inside, we got to basically access the oil filter, which is right back there, but we got this big tank in the way. You don't have to remove this, you can technically probably get in there, but it just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to release this. To do that, you basically just pull this tab backwards, and then you slide this up, and I'm just going to actually tie this to this bar over here with a zip tie, just so it stays out of the way. You might not even need the zip tie. I actually undid this little clip right here that goes into that hole and just kind of pull this tank just over to the side. I just put a zip tie there to kind of keep it in place and keep it out of the way. So now we can go ahead and you can see there's the oil filter housing right there, and you'll need a 32mm socket to get that off. You'll also want to put some rags down there because typically a little bit of oil will probably fall out, so just better want to keep everything protected. Alright, so here's the tool that I use. It's a 1/2 inch with the 32 on here and just a small extension. This was actually the perfect size that allowed me to take off. It's kind of like an odd angle in there, but with this I'll be able to loosen it up and then you can take it out. I bought all my materials that I'm going to use from FCP Euro. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that, but basically it's a pretty cool site. It has all the BMW stuff you will need, and even better is that they actually have a lifetime warranty, even for wear and tear items like the oil filter and oil. So as long as you keep, the containers, basically all you do when you get a new one, you'll have to buy a new one. But when the new one comes in, you basically just switch out the new one for the old stuff, you put it back in the container, and then you ship it back to FCP Euro. When they do that, they'll return to you the difference. With this kit, comes with the filter, so that's the one that you're going to look for the B58 on the X7. I actually opted for 0W20 oil. They originally say 0W12, but I don't know, I just went for something a little bit thicker, especially being in Florida, not too worried about the winter, and just a little bit thicker oil felt like would be a little better. This is a drain plug gasket, so this is basically, you're going to put this on the top of this, and this one is an oil drain plug. This actually should be metallic, so you can see on the top here has not metallic but magnetic, so you can see it actually has a little bit of magnet on there, so it will capture any shavings that might be kind of flowing through the oil. So that's another way you can kind of check on the life of your engine and just kind of see how things are going. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead, remove the old filter and put in everything new. So we loosened the cap and here it is, and this was the original filter that we had in there, and now we're going to put this filter in. So once I push this filter down, we're going to just add a little bit of oil and just allow some lubrication, and put some oil also on the seal right here. It makes it a little easier to remove for next time. On your oil cap, don't forget that there's a rubber gasket on there that you'll have to remove from the one from the car, and your filter should come with another one in there. The filter also comes with the oil plug gasket, but since this kit already came with one, I'm going to use the one that came with the kit. So yeah, just don't forget that part. Switch out that gasket and then put some oil on it. That makes it a little easier to remove when you're doing the oil change next time. All right, so after that, once you change that one gasket, you flip your new filter into the oil filter cap. You're going to go ahead and put it right back into here, and you're going to torque it down to either 25 Newton meters or 18.5 foot-pounds, which, you know, isn't really that much, so just enough to basically keep it in there. After that, you'll go ahead and you can place everything back where you found it, and just make sure you clean everything up nice. Just, you know, a good engine bay is always important to have nice and clean. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll drain the oil now. So I didn't mention this earlier, but as you can see, I right now have the vehicle on the lowest setting. As you can see from the placement of the oil filter, it's kind of in the back of the engine. I still needed to use a stool just to kind of get in there, have enough space. I could do it without the stool, but the stool is made a little easier, but having the lower setting definitely helps as well. Now we're going to go ahead and actually put it to the highest setting, so that way we can drain the oil. Once you have the car on the highest setting, you can basically hold this lever down for 7 seconds. I just did that. Sorry, I kind of missed it in the video, but when you do so, you want to hold it for exactly 7 seconds. And what it'll do is actually shut down the adjustment with the air ride suspension. So that way you don't have to worry about anything, you know, moving or changing. So right now we put on the highest level, held it for 7 seconds, and you can see here, nothing is lit up there. You can see here, if I even try to click on it, it says level change not available. So all right, so then we used a 17 millimeter and we got under here, and this is from the driver's side. That's the easiest way to access it. I went ahead and I loosened the nut that's for the oil drain. Good idea to always wear eye protection, because when I did this, as the oil dropped out, a little bit just splashed into my eye, which was not ideal. So I did have to go wash that out. Also living on the edge of danger here, you can see my oil pan is basically all the way full, so we just had just enough to catch all this oil that's in there, with, you know, just a few drops there from when I first loosened it up, and this came flying out. So I'm just gonna let this kind of keep dripping out until it's done. Here you can see I opened up the new bolt we're gonna be putting in there. You can see there's a magnet on top. I always put these into my vehicles just as a good extra little bit of precaution that's there, and there's the new crush washer we put on there. So next we'll go ahead and install that back into the vehicle, and that's also going to be 25 Newton meters or 18.5 foot-pounds. All right, so at this point we have the oil filter changed out. We have that all tightened down to spec. We drained the oil and replaced the original oil bolt with the magnetic oil bolt, and we switched out the washer that was in there as well. One thing I want to note, just for other people doing this, is that the washer from the original bolt actually was stuck to the vehicle, and I actually had to use a screwdriver to break it loose. So make sure you pay attention to that and remove that original washer and replace that with the new one. So now we're going to go ahead and refill the oil. Basically have 7 bottles of this right here. I'm basically going to start with 6.5 and see, you know, how the car feels. We'll check basically how full it is, and then probably end up using the rest of that, but yeah, we'll see. We'll check how it is. This is the first time that I've done this, so we'll start with just 6.5 right now. And I went ahead and I removed the oil cap from right over there, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and refill that oil right now. If this is your first time doing an oil change, you might be wondering how you can tell how much you put into the vehicle. You'll find on the side of these that they'll actually have measurements, and you can see basically exactly how much oil is in the bottle. So you're going to use that as your gauge. So like for example, we're trying to do 6.5, so we're going to fill this down to the 500 mark right there. So that's obviously half of 1,000. which is 1 liter. So yeah, so once we do that, that'll be 6.5. So make sure you pay attention to exactly how much you're putting in. Once we fill it up, we want to go ahead and turn on the air ride suspension again. So you just want to hold this again 7 seconds. 4, 5, 6, 7. And you'll see the light turn back on. So now we're going to go ahead and start the car, and we'll check the engine oil level. You do that by going to vehicle status. You gotta wait till the car is at operated temperature and have all these selections met, so we just gotta wait for the car to warm up. Alright, so while we're waiting for the car to heat up and measure the oil, here's just a quick look at the front of the car with the M lights. You can see that the illuminated grille does help to light that up. Makes it look actually pretty nice. Walk a little too far away from the car and you'll get that beep sound. You can see also this has the illuminated grille effects on the side, so just some nice touches from BMW with the night rides. Alrighty, and so there we go. We got our oil at the max level, so we're not going to have to add any extra, and we're just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to actually reset my oil filter light as of right now. I know exactly the mileage that I reset it at. I'm just going to wait for BMW to do that at 10,000 miles. So yeah, so that's basically the end of this video. I'm just kidding. So if you are going to reset your engine oil filter timer or oil timer, you basically want to triple click the start engine stop button pretty fast, and that should set us into diagnostic mode here. So you can see diagnostic mode active. From there, you want to go over to your turn signal stock. You want to hit this BC button and basically hold on to that until it gives you the option for the engine oil. After holding the button down, you'll see that the engine oil, it says reset possible. You got the vehicle check, you got the brake fluid, and then once again back to the engine oil. So if I was going to reset this, I would just hold this again until it said it was basically reset. But since I'm going to wait for them to do it at 10,000 miles, I'm just going to hold off on that for the time being.